What is up, everybody? This is BADLION. Welcome back to another video of the CutCom video. So first things first, before getting into the actual commentary of this CutCom, I want to say thank you very much for all the likes on the vlog. It did very swell, and I know I ended it kind of strangely, and that is what I am going to talk about today. So yes, thank you very much. I appreciated all the kind support and also all the great support on the CutCom that said, you know, welcoming bad CutComs. Very motivating to see all the good feedback. And yeah, so let's get straight into this. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick, you know, summarization of what was supposed to happen on Friday. Friday, June 10th, there was a water park event planned where basically at 10:30 at night they would open, and they would only let people who are about 10 to 18 years old in to the water park, and only about 3,000 people were allowed in, and or at least that's how many tickets they were selling. And it was just a youth lock-in. It was just a lock-in where you could ride rides all night and you could party, you do whatever, you know. So that's what Friday was supposed to be like. And let me tell you something before getting into the actual story here. The main reason I was disappointed at the end of everything, and the main reason that I sounded so freaking depressed in my vlog, was because I had really high expectations for that night. Pretty much ever since school ended, I had been looking forward to June 10th. So pretty much 8 straight days, I was just thinking about Friday. I was just constantly reminding myself, like, all right, I don't need to worry. Like, I don't care if my Friday or if, you know, today sucks, because, you know, Friday's gonna be great. And that was basically my mindset for quite a while. So Friday started, I got there at around 10 because, you know, they were opening the doors at 10:30. The line was huge. I was able to get a picture of the line that I was in. So the picture that I actually took was after quite a while of waiting. I only took it because I was sending it to my friend who was actually inside. You know, she works there, all right? I don't want to say her name. I don't want to give out any of her privacy. So I'm going to say that her name was Q. Her name is Q. I know, right? What a cool name, am I right? All right, so Q, she was in there and she was working, all right? She was doing her job, and she was telling us, you know, get in here as quick as possible. I want to see you guys. I want to tell you guys what to do, blah, blah, blah. There was a point where she was messaging us saying, like, oh my God, I'm scared. Like, what is going on? And, you know, my friends and I were just kind of concerned. We were just like, what the heck is going on? You know, we need to get in there, you know, to be with her, because she was in there alone. Even though she really wasn't, you know, she was with her other lifeguard, you know, friends. But, you know, I don't think she's as close with them as she's with us. It was pretty scary for Q. And, you know, we were out there in the line super confused as to why she was confused, or as to why she was, you know, scared. When eventually, when I got to the very front of the line, when they were letting people in, it was hilarious. I paid through PayPal, and I showed them on my phone the receipt, and they did not even read it. They didn't even look at it. They just said, all right, go in. And I was super concerned. I was thinking to myself, if this is how they're letting everyone in, everyone could get in, you know? Even people who haven't paid. So it was really concerning. It was really annoying, and I was angry. I was angry at the people. But of course I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just letting it happen. I was just letting them do their own thing. So let me just get to the parts where it gets real interesting, where my disappointment comes in. You know, because I had really high expectations for this. My friend Q, who works there, she came up to us and she was telling us, yo, this place is crazy. It was going wild. People were going crazy, all right? There were people who were harassing female lifeguards. By harassing, I mean, and all right, I know that this is gonna bother some people, and this bothered me for a long time. Just hearing about it, it makes me cringe, okay? It makes me think, how can people actually do this, okay? She was telling us how people got pushed down slides, and by people I mean lifeguards, all right? They were harassing the lifeguards, and there was this girl that got pushed down, and she hit her head and she got a concussion. Now that just makes me sick thinking about that. Like, who has the time to hurt someone else. Like, we are at a water park that costs half the price that, you know, of the actual of, you know, going in on a normal day. We get, you know, we get all night rides, and people are ruining it by screwing with the lifeguards. Now, that's not the worst one, okay? So, you know, this girl, she gets a concussion and, you know, she has to go. They're short on staff. So then my friend Q, she's told to go to work. She goes to work and she's freaking out. She's telling us about, you know, these girls that got fingered by random people, all right? And by girls, those girls were lifeguards. You know what that means? That means that random people go up to you. Now, if you're a girl, this should sound terrifying, all right? If you're sitting down on a chair, like above a pool, and you get grabbed by the legs and you get pulled down into the water, and they start touching you in places that you don't want them to touch you in. That's just disgusting. It's disgusting, and just thinking about it, I just don't understand how people can do such horrible things, you know? It makes me sick. These people make me sick. And my friend herself, Q, was pushed into the pool and tried to get drowned and tried to get her clothes ripped off. You know how terrifying that is? To be forced to take off your clothes because they're literally grabbing you and you just can't do anything because they're bigger than you, you know? So scary to think about too. Like, who could ever do? I just don't understand. Eventually, the park had been shut down. The police was called. And, you know, they had to take action. Someone had to take action, you know, because that scared me. Because people were just getting harassed. No one was listening to the lifeguards, and they were just violating them and doing disgustingly bad things to the lifeguards, the innocent lifeguards. So eventually the cops were called, and we had to be evacuated by like 1:30 in the morning. So I was home by 1:30 at least, and it was supposed to last until 6:30, so obviously that did not last long. In fact, I didn't even get to ride any rides. I only got to go on the lazy river. Now, I wouldn't have been disappointed if the water park had been shut down for, you know, the weather. I mean, of course, I would have been disappointed, but not as greatly as I am disappointed right now, because people make me question so many things in life. You know, it may not sound as bad to you guys, or maybe it does, but I experienced it, and even though I didn't see anything, you know, with my own eyes, just watching my friend Q bawl, she was crying hardcore, you know, once they had shut down everything and we were just waiting for our rides, I looked at her and she was bawling, she was crying, and just looking at her, I just couldn't stop thinking. I just stood there and I was just thinking to myself, like, how could this happen, you know? By the very end of the day, we were just told that there was a gang from different areas where I live that, you know, came by and decided to ruin everything for us. And in fact, out of the 3,000 tickets that were supposed to be sold, and only 3,000 people were supposed to go in, 6,000 people were inside of the water park. 6,000. Obviously, this is also a mistake of the people who were taking care of tickets, and, you know, we're supposed to be watching out for all that stuff. They were supposed to be looking out for age. They were supposed to be looking out for actual tickets, but no, they completely screwed it up. They let a bunch of people in, and in fact, it ended really horribly. I think the most ironic thing of everything overall is that this event was it was organized by a church-based group. I've been babbling for almost 20 minutes now. I don't really know how short or how long this video is going to be. I don't know. It's just actually kind of sad. Just like my PvP skills right now. That night was just real bad for me. I was not having a good day that day. But I'm feeling a lot better now. It still pisses me off though. I just can't believe that things like that still happen in the world, but I guess they do. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. You know, don't be stupid. Just kidding. That's not the overall message, but you know, hopefully one day that these sorts of problems never happen again. But I guess we'll just have to wait until that day. See you guys next time. Goodbye.